I'm just gonna warn everybody, I'm in a pretty fucking bad mood right now. So this video is gonna be pretty angry one. So if that bothers you, then turn the fucking video off, because that's how this video is gonna be. You know, I'm a millennial, and I didn't choose to be born at this time or this generation, and I sure as hell wouldn't have if I had a choice. But despite some new age retards, what they believe, which is utter bullshit, you don't have a choice when you're born. And you know, I look at my life, and the more I talk to people my age, the more I realize that a lot of people are in a similar situation that I'm at, or at least feel similar to how I feel. You know, and that is, you know, the 9-to-5 job just doesn't work. You know, unfulfilling work is quite possibly, I think, the biggest form of slavery in the industrialized world these days and age. And then the other type of jobs, you know, they want you to work 60 hours a week. Let me tell you something. I don't care what it is. In my experience, if you work 60 hours a week at something, you're going to start to fucking hate it. Because once money becomes involved in anything, that passion that you think you had changes from a passion to work. And I believe very strongly that we should only be working 25 hours a week. And we talk about sacrifice. Like, you gotta sacrifice. This is, you know, a lot of people say, you know, you have to sacrifice, you know, a year or two of your life so that you can make a ton of money, so that you don't have to work 60 hours ever again. But then you're still working 40. That's not a sacrifice I'm willing to make. You know, it's I think the Dalai Lama said it, or some Buddhist, maybe some Bodhisattva said it, but you know, it's really foolish in how people go about their lives. You know, they sacrifice their health to make wealth, and then they spend their wealth to get back their health. And so what's the point of that? Like, why would I sacrifice 60 hours a week doing something that I don't want to do to get this thing called money, so that I can then do what I want to do? But then how do I just walk away from that, right? Because, see, invariably, if I work 60 hours a week and I make $100,000, my lifestyle's going to change. It can't not change. So then walking away from that type of job becomes very difficult. Unless, of course, you know exactly what you're going to do with that money, which I think hardly anybody does. Very few people do. There are some, but very few. But instead of following this, because this is a capitalistic world, and I am militantly against capitalism. I'm against socialism too. I think we need a hybrid system, but of course, because most people have IQs below 130, they don't understand that it's not one or the other, you know. And whenever you deduce something to be A or B, you're usually wrong, because the choices are a lot more plentiful than just A or B. You know, it's never really, it's not heaven or hell, it's not good or bad, it's not black or white, it's just not. And that's the problem with this world too, is that most of the politicians are, one, bought and paid for, as we all know, but two, they think everything is black and white, and it's never black and white. So what I think the solution is to we have to get back to how we're naturally supposed to live, right? Now, we know how we're not supposed to live, right? We're not supposed to live in these corporate offices for 12 hours a day, and we're not supposed to live in traffic for an hour a day to get to the corporate office that we have to work at. And we know that we're not supposed to be addicted to these smartphones, be addicted to the constantly this dopamine addiction. Every time we hear a ding on our phone, we think a text message or a Tinder or a Bumble or a YouTube or a Facebook or a Twitter or an Instagram. You know, we know this is not the way. Well, the question then becomes, what is the way? Well, Jose Mujica has the answer, and that is we need to get rid of conspicuous consumption. Now, of course, Ayn Rand says that, you know, existence is not the negation of negatives. Okay, so there has to be an affirmative thing, not just don't do this, don't do this. What do we do? Well, I believe we need to live on farms. We need to work 25 hours a week, and we should only buy things that we need. And we should spend our time, instead of buying things or drinking or going out to bars or going out to clubs and trying to look cool, we should spend our money, or we should spend our time rather, on the things that really matter in life. And the things that really matter in life are relationships. Now, relationships have become almost obsolete. And that's also due to capitalism. Because nobody has any time anymore to date. Also, nobody really has the skill to have meaningful relationships, because technology has almost abdicated our ability to actually relate to other people. Just like the feminist has signed her own death warrant, or the modern woman has signed her own death warrant by advocating feminism. We have advocated our own death warrants by choosing to capitulate in this consumer culture. And the solution is very simple. The solution is get back in touch with what we're really supposed to be doing. Build farms, grow trees, grow crops. Get to know your neighbor. Get to know other people. You know, put down your fucking phone. Put down the fucking laptop. Get rid of all these stupid social media apps. Stop looking up to people that have Ferraris and Lamborghinis as though that's the basis for why you should look up to them. It's a reality. This is not... Where did all these things come from? ADD, ADHD, OCD, ODD, depression, anxiety, you know, bipolar. I think 99 out of 100 times these are misdiagnoses. It's just meant to give some quack with a PhD that shouldn't have it some sort of purpose in his life to tell you what's wrong with you. They don't look at it in a cultural context, which is what we need to start doing. And the cultural context is the very thing that got us to be a great nation is going to destroy it, and that is greed. That is wanting more. Wanting more. That's a very American way of thinking, wanting more. See, life's paradoxical. In order to get anything, you have to give something up. And too much of a good thing is not a good thing. And that's what's happened in this country. I'm out.